The K-pop machine has always thrived on a glossy facade of perfection, but peel back the layers and you'll find a pressure cooker of rivalries and a desperate unspoken war for legitimacy that goes far beyond screaming fans. In 2025, one name didn't just ripple through the industry, she triggered a seismic shift. ROSÉ. When her track with Bruno Mars APT officially smashed into the top 10 at the RTHK International Pop Poll Awards, it wasn't just another headline to scroll past. It was a pivotal moment that ripped the mask off the brutal hierarchy governing global pop recognition. For decades, K-pop idols have been side-eyed, doubted, and shoved into a shiny little box that Western gatekeepers refuse to open. ROSÉ's victory wasn't just a popularity contest. It was a direct challenge to the invisible glass ceiling separating manufactured idol music from what the elites consider legitimate artistry. What makes this achievement hit different is the battlefield it was won on. The RTHK Awards are notoriously snobbish, prioritizing genuine cultural weight and musical chops over fleeting viral internet fame. In a game where chart numbers are usually inflated by organized fan armies mass streaming like soldiers, APT broke the mold. It didn't need a campaign. It was devoured organically by everyday listeners who exist completely outside the K-pop bubble. This wasn't just a win, it was a warning shot. It signaled a paradigm shift in how Korean artists are weighed on the world stage. Real power here isn't loud or sparkly, it's silent, undeniable, and deeply terrifying for an establishment that thrives on keeping idol musicians underestimated. But don't let the confetti fool you, there's a shadow behind the spotlight. For ROSÉ, this accolade brings a suffocating level of scrutiny, impossible standards, and the relentless burden of having to constantly justify her seat at the table. A massive collaboration can launch you to the stars, but it can also sever the tether to your roots, breeding quiet resentment and icy tension in an industry that is already a shark tank. While the stands cheer, the executives are watching with hawk eyes, doing the math on what this shift means for control, creative liberty, and the fate of K-pop stars desperate to breathe outside their suffocating contracts. This is just the opening scene of a much messier drama, a saga where the intoxicating highs of fame crash violently against the crushing weight of validation and expectations behind the velvet rope. If you really want to peel back the curtain on what this win actually costs, ROSÉ, and the dark side of global stardom, smash that subscribe button, follow the channel. You won't want to miss where this twisted story goes next. Once the champagne bubbles fizzled out, the industry's take on ROSÉ's top 10 dominance revealed a tangled web far messier than simple applause. In K-pop, winning is never a solo sport, it comes with baggage. It sends out shockwaves, sparking whispered comparisons, internal stress, and a ruthless unspoken hierarchy that idols are terrified to admit exists. APT stopped being a song and became a yardstick, a brutal standard held up against every other artist trying to crack the Western code. For the insiders, ROSÉ's triumph forced a jagged pill down their throats. If one girl can command this level of international respect, why are the rest failing? And more importantly, who gets thrown under the bus in the process? This is where the hidden tension begins. World-class fame doesn't bond K-pop groups, it often breaks them. Agencies are addicted to micromanagement, image curation, and predictable cookie-cutter career paths. ROSÉ's success, achieved without sacrificing her musical soul, disrupts that entire business model. It suggests that raw individuality rather than rigid idol formulas is the true currency of longevity. For corporations built on assembly lines, this induces pure panic. When an artist steps out of the system and gets a standing ovation for it, the system itself starts shaking in its boots. At the same time, hooking up with a titan like Bruno Mars poured gasoline on the fire regarding Western validation. Skeptics asked if you really need a Western cosign to be real, while others screamed that this partnership just proved K-pop talent has been criminally slept on for way too long. The chatter pivoted fast from melodies to muscle. It became about who gets to define global success and who is actually allowed through the VIP entrance. Behind closed doors, these aren't philosophical debates. They're cold, strategic wars. They influence who gets to collab, who gets the sweet contracts, and how the next generation of trainees gets molded. For ROSÉ, the lens zoomed in, high definition and merciless. Every move, every vocal run, every silence is now dissected for meaning. Praise is a trap. It brings expectations that weigh a ton. The industry claps with one hand and holds a knife with the other. The drop from the peak is a short trip. That's the K-pop curse. The bigger you get, the smaller your cage becomes. Rosé's moment didn't just lift her up, it dropped her dead center in a brewing storm that shows no sign of calming down. While Rosé's global validation dominated the news cycle, a nastier tension quietly bubbled up from the depths, the delicate, explosive balance between individual glory and the collective identity of the group. In a business that worships uniformity and one team, one dream, having a single member break the sound barrier can create invisible fractures. Rosé's rise ripped open old wounds about hierarchy, company favoritism, and the vicious comparisons that fans ignore but insiders feel in their bones. Success here isn't innocent. It warps how everyone sees you both inside the dorms and out in the world. For an idol, going global isn't a trophy, it's a trial by fire. Once you step out of the K-pop bubble, the rules change overnight. Rosé wasn't being graded on a curve anymore. She was being measured against global heavyweights with total creative freedom. This shift is risky. The industry loves growth, but it hates losing control. When an idol gets too big for their boots, they threaten the machine built to suppress them. Contracts, schedules, creatives say it all turns into a battlefield when your voice gets too loud to ignore. Meanwhile, the public narrative started shifting gears. The media began treating her less like a member and more like a solo entity. It looks like a glow up on the surface, but trust me, there are consequences. K-pop history is littered with groups that imploded because one star shined too bright, leading to fractured bonds, internal jealousy, and permanent silence between members. Fans scream queen, but the agency sees a liability. It's never really about talent, it's about ownership. Rosé is standing at a crossroads that many idols have faced before crashing. Move forward and risk walking alone, or stay in line and risk stagnation. The pressure isn't dramatic or explosive. It's slow psychological torture. Every win shrinks the margin for error. In this game, winning doesn't end the war, it just transforms the struggle. Just as the industry was dissecting Rosé's rise, the script flipped with violent speed, revealing how fickle the spotlight truly is. The gaze snapped to a new target, Lisa. But she didn't come with a chart topper. She came with a Hollywood set pass. No flashy teasers, no media blitz, just raw moves. Instead, she triggered something far more dangerous, genuine, unscripted interest from the Western elite. The K-pop system hates variables, and unpredictability is the ultimate threat. What scared the observers wasn't screen time or pretty visuals, but the reaction speed. Within days, the sharks were circling, signaling serious professional curiosity. This wasn't fan noise. This was the industry making moves before the ink was even dry. Historically, K-pop idols in Western acting roles are dismissed as novelty casting or diversity tokens. Lisa felt different. The response wasn't curiosity, it was evaluation. That distinction changes everything. This sudden pivot ripped the bandage off another truth. When idols gain recognition beyond music, they begin to outgrow the lanes their agencies painted for them. Acting and film represent the ultimate freedom, but also the ultimate conflict. Agencies need robots and predictability. Careers like Lisa's are chaotic, where image control dissolves and creative battles turn ugly. Every new door she kicks down quietly asks the terrifying question, how much control does the system really have left? Public perception shifted instantly. The conversation moved from popularity to credibility and power. This evolution is rare and it carries serious weight. Once an idol is taken seriously outside their original playground, the expectations shift permanently. There is no going back to the way things were. Lisa is now stepping into a dangerous game where every single glance is tracked by powerful moguls, not just fans. These elites hold the power to twist her fate. In this brutal industry, that gaze is a golden ticket and a heavy curse. When the smoke clears, a dark truth hits us hard. K-pop isn't just selling shiny stars anymore, it's trafficking pure danger. Rosé's world fame and Lisa's new allure aren't just wins, they're cracks in the armor, revealing the toxic tug-of-war between owning your soul and selling it to the label. Once stars transcend simple charts to rule the world, the machine that made them starts to panic. This fame isn't just for fans now, it breeds jealousy, ruthless rivals, and dirty quiet wars fought in the shadows where the cameras never see a thing. With Rosé, global love makes every next move a high-stakes gamble. For Lisa, eyes from beyond the K-pop cage hint at a one-way road to a destiny she can never ever turn back from. This is the true price of the crown. The lights burn hotter, the crowds demand perfection, and one slip kills you. The global K-pop age isn't about entering the gates, it is about living through the hell that follows. So, I'm asking you this. Is this bold escape the start of real liberation, or just a heavier chain for queens daring to defy the regime? Tell me what you think. Hit that like, drop a comment, and let's get deep into this mess right now. Smash subscribe and ring the bell because this drama is just heating up and the next dark secret of the K-pop underworld is dropping way faster than you ever imagined.